It's Radio 2, and I'm delighted to say we have on the line now Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The record is our new favourite thing. We're playing it every night of the week because it's so good, and it's a taster for the new album, which is called The Getaway. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. So how are you feeling? Because the unveiling of a new album must be, A, nerve-wracking, B, exciting.
It's, we've done this before, so the nerves are a bit at bay. It's more overwhelming and exciting and joyful and a large workload.
How long did it take? What was the time that it took to make this?
I feel like it took years, but once we actually got recording, it only took a couple of months. So the build-up was forever, and we had broken arms and broken dreams, and all this stuff kind of went awry. And then once we actually found a producer and were healthy and set about the business of making music, it went really quick.
So I guess when you've been making records for as long as you have, it just must be so difficult to think of the sound that you want, how you're going to fit into what's going on in the music scene at the time, and who you want to work with, and the expectation of everybody. I can't quite imagine how that is for you.
Well, expectations, I can't think about those too much. Finding sound, finding joy for music, and staying together as a band, as a marriage, is all kind of challenging. But really, finding a producer was hard because we knew that we wanted to experiment with Danger Mouse. And he's busy. He's doing, television shows and movies and 12 other records. And we finally nailed him down to a time. And then Flea went and broke his arm snowboarding. So we lost our time slot with Danger Mouse and had to kind of reconfigure. And in the end, it was all kind of meant to be. We needed every little nuance of weirdness building up to the writing of these songs. It helped.
And when you actually got with him in the studio, he kind of threw a curveball, didn't he?
He threw lots of curveballs and strikes and sliders and spitballs. And, he's a dynamic dude. And you mean by kind of wanting to write new songs?
Yeah, because you'd got from what I've read, you'd got your own songs and you went, oh, this is what we think the album is. But then he went, no, let's do something different.
Yeah, he didn't, actually, if I look at it now, he knows what he likes very immediately. So he listened to probably 25 songs we had written, and he really only liked about 10 of them, I guess, out of the 25. So initial heartbreak of having to part ways with these other 15 songs that we had become attached to.
Can I just ask how that is when he turns around and says that he doesn't like what you've done? How do you feel?
The very first time, you're kind of like, well, geez, that's kind of harsh or arrogant or presumptuous or whatever. But then the more you get to know him and the more you see how he operates and thinks, and it's just a matter of taste. And, he wants every song to be classic. He doesn't really have that sort of songwriter's approach to, oh, well, I love this little song, even though it's not destined to be a classic. It's still part of my experience, and it means something to me. Unless he feels like it's going to touch the world, he doesn't really want to hear about it. So I grew to respect his point of view, and the more we worked with him, and the more he pushed us to be better than we were starting out as, I gained an appreciation and saw his value, very much so.
Yeah, no, but great for you to be pushed, great for you to be challenged, I would have thought.
Got to be pushed.
You can't be pushed, otherwise you don't improve, do you?
You wouldn't. And imagine, being sort of around forever and then people forget what it is to tell you that something's not good enough. So you just, you always think it's going to be good enough, but then really you need someone to be brutally honest and break your heart and hurt your feelings a little bit along the way.
I guess it's the Emperor's New Clothes. There's always a danger of that, isn't it? Just people going, yeah, you're just fabulous, and you don't want that.
That's a danger. That's a danger. I mean, imagine some of the true greats, the real greats, the classics, like, a member of the Beatles and someone going, God, that song's just not as good as what I think you can do. No one would ever say that, so they might not know.
Yeah. But Brian Burton, who is Danger Mouse, he's quite gentle, isn't he? Quite a wise kind of character.
He's wise, he's gentle, he's mellow, low-key, but his focus is pretty laser.
Yeah. So what can we, Anthony, tell me what we can expect on this album. What kind of a mood has it got? And lyrically, what were you writing about?
Lyrically, I'm embarrassed to say, but, a 2-year relationship that completely fell apart like a nuclear bomb. Just left me feeling pretty raw and available to the emotional universe for writing. So even though the relationship was a bit of a disaster, I feel that in some way I did get something out of it, which was about half the songs on this record.
Yeah. Gosh, are they going to be difficult to sing, those songs?
No, and really they're not, full literal stories, because I find that a bit boring for me personally at this stage, writing something that's predictable and, everyone can relate to that. I'd rather sort of disguise it in color and shape and just make it come out a bit more open to interpretation.
Yeah.
That excites me more as a lyricist than being overly literal.
Yeah. Heart and sleeve stuff. So half the album is the contents of your heart, but disguised, veiled somewhere.
Disguised, yeah.
And then the rest of the album?
Lyrically, it just comes for love of life. And, love of life's tragedies and successes and hurts and triumphs and, I don't know, the kind of psychedelic mystery of nature can be found in these lyrics.
And the sound of the album?
The sound is different, thank God. It's nice to have a new element in terms of sound. Instead of just being a rad traditional rock and roll, three-piece with vocalist, there are loops and machines and robots and aliens and all these different things sort of participating in the making of our sound. But it still sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but with a Danger Mouse studio slant to it. So there's a meld. There's, you can feel the influence, and it's nice. Like, my very favorite song on the whole record is called The Getaway, even though it shan't be our single. And in that, that's something that is a loop and has a bit more of a mechanical influence. But emotionally, the very first time I heard the music, I was instantly inspired. So there's kind of the best of both worlds in there.
I can't wait to hear it. How the rest of the band? How are the band getting on at the moment? All good and healthy? And...
Everyone's good. We have figured out how to argue successfully without hating each other or wanting to be away from each other. We can start off the day with a massive difference of opinion and get into a bit of a miniature shouting match, and then 10 minutes later it's over and done with. And I like what I see with these boys getting ready to go out on tour for a year.
Yeah.
It's nice to know we can process all these highs and lows together. Everyone's good. Everyone's excited that we have this many new songs that look like they're going to be a blast to play live.
It's all part of the adventure. Listen, enjoy the tour. Where are you at the moment? Are you at home?
At the moment, I'm standing naked in my kitchen.
Okay, so you're not cooking, are you? You haven't got a frying pan out?
No hot grease anywhere near.
Okay, fine. I was worried for a bit then.
Yeah.
Anthony, it's nice to talk to you, and hopefully see you when you're over here in the UK. Come in and say hi to us.
Thank you for your time, Joe.
We'll play the single now. This is Dark Necessities. Anthony, thank you.
Bye, Joe.
Step away from the hot fat.
Will do.
Bye.
Bye.